Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of BS Drunk Movie Reviews. This is a weekly podcast, and we do upload the video version of this to our YouTube channel, so you can check us out there. My name is Matt, and as always, I am being joined by my sister Vetta.
Hi.
Hey. On this episode, we are going to be talking about Space Jam 2 or Space Jam A New Legacy. Why did they have to name it A New Legacy? Just do Space Jam 2, assholes. We all know there's a first one. So, Betta, first off, what are you drinking tonight?
I am drinking a Tom Collins right now. Well, I'm getting ready to make one, I should say. I already have been drinking a smidge.
Me too.
And so I had a Dirty Shirley or two.
Love those Shirleys.
I know. She's something else. So now I'm getting ready here as soon as I finish up this to make me a Tom Collins. I got everything sitting here ready to go. My club soda, my simple syrup, my gin. I'm ready to go as soon as I finish. What are you doing?
Having white wine. Just, you know me, I'm a wine.
You are a wine whore.
I am a wine whore.
It's gonna be your Christmas present. I'm gonna get you a wine of the month club.
Do it, but don't let them. I tried that before. They send you these like something like that. They send you like these little half a glass bottles. I was like, yo, I'm a big girl. I can handle a whole glass.
Like, I won't do that. I'll make sure it's a full size bottle.
Yeah, all right. So tell me real quick, what did you think about this movie? What was your first thoughts?
I fell asleep during it and had to rewind.
I fell asleep too. I fell asleep like half hour in. I was all like, they hadn't even started the basketball game yet. And I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna do on this one. And I was excited for this one because I was a kid when this came out. Like I was in elementary school when this came out.
Yeah, I was in high school, so this did not. Yeah, the first one was not of interest.
Yeah, and I had some of the toys, and I loved it and everything. I recently watched like last year. I recently watched the first one, the Space Jam movie with Michael Jordan. It does not hold up as an adult. I was all like, "Oh, this movie." It makes zero sense. The plot is so weird. And the thing about that one, if you go back and watch it, spoiler alert for those who haven't seen Space Jam 1, he's on the golf course and he gets pulled into the Looney Tune world through the earth. Like he go through the earth and everything. So I'm like, is Looney Tune world like underneath our planet? Is that our core? It's so weird and everything.
It's Middle Earth.
So your first thoughts about this were that it's what were your first thoughts? You said you fell asleep, but you didn't tell me your first thoughts.
My first thoughts were, I did not look forward to this. I was not excited. I watched the trailer and I went, okay, I'm going to do this because he's my brother. Fine. I don't even know if I would have sat through it if my kids were of the age where this was it. I don't know. I might have had something else to do that night.
Yeah, I have to tell you something. My family, we do a weekly movie night and it's on Sunday nights, and we're recording this on Saturday, guys, and this is going to be posted on Monday. We're watching it for our movie night. I was like, oh, I made a bad decision. Like I've scheduled the snack around this movie. I was like, I don't know if we can change it now. I was like, I've got less than 24 hours. And so, well, my first thoughts when I got done watching this movie were so I didn't like this movie at all. I didn't care for it at all. I hated it. Oh, hold on. I shouldn't have done that. I feel like I'm gonna vomit now. I've drank way too much. Okay. I think I have
a garbage can nearby.
I think I dislodged some throat things because I was trying to get all happy with the Tasmanian devil voice. Okay. So yeah, I just really quick want to just say one thing that tell me when it came to this movie, did you have any expectations going into it?
No.
Okay. Were you a Looney Tunes fan before this?
Yes, I did like Looney Tunes. I mean, I'm older than you, so Looney Tunes were a little bit more of my Sunday or Saturday morning cartoon or after school. cartoon experience. So yeah, I mean, I like I've introduced my kids to them.
Mhm.
This was just something else. Like, I have issues.
Yeah, I wasn't a Looney Tunes fan, but I definitely was a Space Jam fan.
Yeah. We're
So
the opposite.
yeah, I mean, well, I shouldn't say I wasn't a fan of Looney Tunes because I did watch those, and those cartoons, you know, they were fine, but I wasn't like one of these people that are just like, oh my god, that's my childhood, I love Looney Tunes kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I want to say before we get into our dislikes, I had a couple of thoughts that weren't really dislike or like. They were just like random things that I wrote down. The
Okay.
first thing, well, I don't know, this first one could be considered a dislike, but at the very beginning, like within the first 5 minutes, who throws away a brand new Game Boy? Like who throws away a Game Boy?
Someone who makes like, what does he make now? Like $70 million a year to
Well,
play
he didn't
basketball?
as a child, and I'm all like, so, and then
Yeah, but how
I
many times did our parents threaten when we were driving down the road to throw whatever we had in our hand, whether it was a
but they
book
didn't
or
do it.
whatever? They didn't do it, but they threatened it.
I threaten all the time to throw my kids'
Okay,
toys
well, you
away.
should follow through with the consequences you set for it.
Yeah, right. You ever pay $60 for a toy and then throw it away?
I lost $300 on a birthday party with blow up bouncy houses because I canceled the party 2 days before it because my kids were being buttheads.
Oh, well, I'm sorry, I'm a good parent. Anyways, so um I also wrote down that this is such a weird concept. So this is the concept. It's LeBron James, who is a real person who has a fake family in this movie, but his career in this movie is real.
I legitimately Googled
Eh,
to see if those were his real
Yeah,
family,
no,
and
it's
they're
not.
not.
It's not.
Like,
It's
why
it,
couldn't
it,
they use his real
yeah,
family?
yeah. That's what I said. I'm all like, this is such a weird concept to me because Michael Jordan in the first movie, they never brought his family in. It was just
No,
Michael Jordan, and I'm all like, and he was Michael Jordan. He
yeah,
was one, and did the kid that played his kid, did he also play LeBron James as a kid? Because I should have looked.
no, they were two separate
Oh,
actors.
because I was all like, is this the same fucking kid? And I was just
They
like,
did look, they had the same like haircut.
oh, okay. Because I was all like, and then one thing that I wrote down, the last thing I wrote down as a random thought because I just wrote down LeBron is a bad father and his son
They
is a
make
bad
him out
son.
to be that way. I really hope that is not how he really is,
Yeah.
because yes,
Like,
they make him out to be a fucking asshole of a
yeah. Yeah.
dad.
Like he's
Okay,
like
but the little basketball thing where they yelled ball and it spit basketballs on, that was pretty cool. I was like,
that was yeah,
damn.
that was pretty neat. But I just like the whole time I was like, LeBron is a douche to his child. And then later on his son, like, and then I love how later on he's all like, this is all about family. I'm all like, oh, now it's all about family, fucker. And I'm like, okay.
When you were in your backyard, it was not.
Yeah, and when you were telling your son he wasn't going to video game creator camp, he was going to basketball camp, he's obviously not into it, daddy doe. So I just like, and then the son, that fucker flips the switch real quick. He's all like, you're gonna help me build my game? Fuck my dad. Like
Right?
he hasn't given me every privilege in the world with his millions of
He's
dollars.
all, he's
Yeah,
all,
fuck
what was the guy's name? Algae Rhythm.
yeah.
He's all like, oh, could you be my new daddy?
Yeah. I'm daddy cool. Anyways, so all right. So what are some things that you liked about this movie?
I have a very short.
I have a short list too, but
It's very short. I apologize in advance. Um, one of the best things I could do was the graphics were better than the first one, and the animation has, gotten better over time. Granted, it could have been a little bit better. It wasn't like, shocking and awing. Algae Rhythm's character and
that was a like for you.
that was a like for me.
Oh,
Only
okay.
because I was struggling. I was
Okay.
struggling to find likes. Did you not just hear I complimented the graphics and animation?
Well, I said that the animation was pretty good.
Yeah,
except I thought the 2D was better than the 3D. Like when they
for
do
sure.
like when he upgrades them, I'm all like, oh, I don't look at this as an upgrade. I think that they don't look that great
No, yeah,
compared to the
I
old school
agreed.
ones.
I did not like that's on my dislikes. But I liked the appearance of the characters from all the other movies. I played that would be a great drinking game if someone pulled out a name and said, everyone find this person, freeze the screen, and the first person to find them doesn't have to do a shot, but everybody else has to.
Yeah, I wrote
Um,
down I loved the movie references. I thought they were super fun. And
yeah.
I did that a lot during this movie. I paused it to be like, I was like, oh, is that Catwoman? Shut up. Oh,
Yep,
look,
I did the
there's
same
Batman.
thing. That's what I was like
Yeah,
too. I was like, that would make a great drinking game.
yeah.
And my other favorite moment, and it's just because I hold Indiana basketball near and dear to my heart. So when the Bobby Knight reference of the throwing of the chair, I was absolutely gleeful over that
Right
because
on.
I loved Bobby Knight growing up. I love March Madness, college basketball. I love that, but he is my all-time favorite. I know people hate him now, but I don't care. Love Bob Knight, love Indiana basketball. So that was my other fun moment. That's all I got. I'm sorry. It
Right
was
on.
hard to
Oh,
find likes for
it's
this.
okay. Hey, I get it. This movie wasn't good. I get it. I get it. I did write down for my other things that I did like was I did like DC World where they went to the DC World and they were like they saw Superman and Batman and all that stuff. And I did like when they went to the Wonder Woman comic book to get Lola
Oh
Bunny.
yeah, when
I, th-
Lola, yeah, I like that.
I thought the animation on in that scene was my absolute favorite. I love the way that it was drawn. I don't know who drew that part of it, but it was my favorite part as far as animation goes. It was so good. I loved it. I also wrote down the last thing I wrote down was I thought the collecting of the team was fun, but it went on way too long. Like I
Yes.
put it as a hyphen as in that in my dislikes, that part went on way too long. Like when they went to the Matrix world to get Granny and the little mouse, I was like, all right, we need to wrap this shit up because I've had enough. I've had enough.
Gonzalez.
Yeah. I just was like, I don't want to watch this anymore, collecting these assholes in fun movies and everything. It's like it's over. Um, so what let's get over the dislike pile because that's gonna be fun. What's some of the things that you didn't like?
I didn't like the upgrades, like
Right
we
on.
already said. I
Mm-hmm.
hated the server verse. I
I
don't really
agree.
think I just was like, this is weird. I don't like it. Um, I did not like that there was no Bill Murray. If there's anything I remember from the first
Dude,
Space Jam is that there was Bill Murray. And who doesn't love Bill Murray?
that's what I wrote. I wrote down it's towards the bottom of my thing because I when I got towards the end of the movie, I was all like, oh, Michael Jordan and Bill Murray are not making cameos in this movie. I was
No,
like,
Michael
oh,
B. Jordan did for a
oh, that
little
doesn't it
joke.
doesn't
And I was
it
like, shut the fuck up.
yeah.
You couldn't pay the real Michael Jordan to be
Yeah,
here.
and
He
there's
probably would have been cheaper.
it probably would have been cheaper. I'm like, what is he doing right now? He's not playing baseball. He's not playing basketball. He's just sitting around. So I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, I was like, come on, you guys
And
couldn't
Bill
pay.
Murray is the king of cameos. He would have
Yeah,
been more than happy to do it.
yeah, I was a little annoyed that they didn't have didn't have either one of those because they were so huge in the first one. I was like,
Yeah.
whatever.
My other dislike is probably going to get me hated for this. I'm probably going to get a ton of,
Oh gosh.
yucky comments or whatever,
Oh,
but
please
I'm
say
going
what
to
I
go
want you
with
to
it.
say.
I hate that they got rid of Pepe Le Pew, and I get it. Pepe Le Pew is looked at in a negative way because he was kind of a cartoon stalker, always
Whatever.
going after Penelope, and Penelope didn't want to do anything with him.
Penelope wasn't even hot.
She was a skunk. I
Um,
mean, or no, she
She's a
wasn't even a
cat.
skunk. He was a skunk. She was a
Yeah,
cat.
she wasn't
So
that hot.
I go, yeah, he was a little bit of a stalker, but he was Pepe Le Pew. How can you not have him in Looney Tunes? And I did not like that when that Lola in this. I mean, Lola is always the super girly girl of the Looney Tunes. Like she always was curvy and giggly, and she was just a real, I don't know, gleeful girly girl. And yeah, she was girly girls can play basketball too. Like I hate that they had to, when they did the upgrade and they changed her, that she all of a sudden went to no longer having that part of her personality. Like now you're telling me, like in my mind, I go, so you're saying to play basketball, she can't want to wear nice clothes and be pretty. I just didn't like the upgrades, like especially with how they changed Lola. I didn't like how there was no Pepe Le Pew, and I get it. People think that he was, you know, a horrible character.
Fuck those people.
I just kind of go, I think they were trying to cast him as a hopeless romantic. And nowadays, with the state of mind, Pepe Le Pew comes off as a stalker and a crazy. So yeah, those are some of my I did not dislike, I did not like the I really didn't like the basketball game at all.
I agree. Go ahead.
No, I didn't like it. Like it was hard to track it.
Yeah.
To keep what was going on.
Yeah.
It was all over the place.
Yeah. It was a video game, not a basketball game. And
yeah.
I go, listen, I'm not trying to diss on gamers or anything like that, but the only thing
I game all the time, every night.
Oh yeah, you're a total gamer.
After this, and I'll be streaming. So please.
Yeah, you're a gamer. You're a gamer, so you understand. But listen, I'm not trying to be a dick to you guys, but there's no athletic ability to gaming. I'm sorry. There's no you exercise your thumbs. Good for you. But basketball takes like skill and you have to practice.
Okay, well, playing video games does take skill.
Well, it takes skill, but it takes a different set of skills. Like
my kid just got a scholarship to college to play esports.
So. And that's great and everything. But listen, I'm just saying, like a basketball player, you know, to be a gamer, you could all you got to do is sit at home and play video games all day. You don't have to do any physical activity.
I'm not going to go down this road with you.
We can go down. Let's go down this road, fucker.
Look, fucker, I will 1v1 the shit out of you in any game, and I will give you however much time you need to prepare for it.
Oh, I'm gonna need years. I'm gonna need years.
And even after years, I will still.
Well, yeah, because you've got your 100,000 hours in. But guess what? I bet I could run 2 miles faster than you.
I would disagree with that.
Oh, well, I'm going to see you in a month. So challenge accepted.
Let's go.
Oh, you're so, you know.
Because I strike you as being the rabbit where I'm the, tortoise. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Okay. Yeah. That's what all slow people
You would probably, honestly, you'd probably be able to beat me now, but because I've been
now, because we're both old.
Okay. You're not. I used to run 5 miles a day till I got sickly.
All right, so let's get back to this movie instead of our sibling rivalry.
Our sibling bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah, it's I'm better. It doesn't matter. Anyway, so
no, I'm older and wiser, and you suck because you're younger. You're the baby. Don't worry, when you fall and skin your knee, mommy will come and kiss it and make it better, put Band-Aid on it for you.
That's cool. I like Band-Aids. You better have a princess on it. So, one thing I wrote down was all the acting is so bad in this movie. Like LeBron James sucks. And you know what I wrote down here? He even has a line in here about how basketball players shouldn't act when he's meeting with the Warner Brothers executives. And he's like, it never works out. And I'm all like, hence this movie.
I think that was supposed to be like ironically funny. Like he's doing a good job at it. And I'm like, not. You couldn't have taken a couple dollars of that basketball money and went to like an improv class or an acting class. Yeah,
he's not good. He's a bad actor. And I was like, he said that, and I was all, oh, he tried. Okay, that's nice. Anyways, so so he was bad.
Ribbon.
What?
You can have a participation ribbon.
I guess so. Anyways, whatever that is. So then, and then I wrote down, and when I say the acting is bad all around, I mean like even like Sarah Silverman's in this for like a hot second. I love Sarah Silverman.
Yeah,
but she did a bad job in this movie. I was like, oh, you sucked. You didn't even do good.
No, I felt like she phoned this in. She went, oh shit, they're gonna give me a paycheck. I'm gonna go do this.
Yeah, and also going back to what you said about the basketball game, the script sucks. It's all over the place. I have no clue what's going on in this movie. I was all like, that first movie may have been bad, but at least I kind of could understand this.
You could follow it.
Like this one, I'm all like, okay, so they're in this weird technology world, and you've got the son who creates this basketball game that you cannot follow. It's like ADD times 10. Like it's like so all over the place. Like he's got arrows on his arms jumping up a million miles in the sky, and I'm all like, this is not a basketball game. This is
Because I think like he has to, even though they're brought into the server first, I think because he and LeBron are humans, they still have to do like some sort of VR type technology. Like it's obviously not VR because they don't have anything on their eyes, but it's like a kind of like a VR version, but arms and legs to make them be able to participate at the same level as the people that are the cartoons or the animated characters from the video game. I think that's what they were going for, but I don't know.
okay. So yeah, it was just really weird, dude. This movie, it wasn't just bad, it was really weird. It was too long, and I feel like they could have tightened it up and like made it just a little bit better. One thing I did wrote down as a fun little thing that I disliked but kind of liked is when they passed Harry Potter World, which was my favorite. He turned into a yeah,
Never would have guessed that.
he turned into a Hufflepuff, and I was like, of course he did. He's gross. Anyways, because Hufflepuffs suck. Come at me.
Gryffindor.
Come at me, bro. No, Ravenclaw. Fuck you. Anyways, so that's another story. That's another rivalry. Okay, we don't have time for that shit. So, and then the last thing I just wrote down was, why did they make this movie? Like, nobody
LeBron wanted to try his acting. I think he put up most of the money for this.
Well, then, yeah, and then I hope that they don't do another one, because he didn't. This was just, it was bad, and there were things that, like, we both have things that we liked about it, but like it wasn't enough for me. Like I would have been so mad if I saw this in the theater, because
for sure
it would cost way more than
I don't know about you, but it's
$100
$100 for me to take, and I got
yeah, it's well over 100 for me,
right,
because I don't know how you are when you go to the theater, but we go all out. Like me and my wife get alcohol.
No, it's $100 if it's just Ryan and I, because we get the alcohol, we get the full meal, we sit down and we take kids. Fuck that.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Like, Jesus.
That's exactly. I went, the last movie we saw with the kids in the movie theater before the pandemic was Frozen 2. I spent like $135, and I was like, I mean, the kids were still bitching how they were hungry after the movie. I was all like, we had like it had 10 minutes left, and they were like, I'm hungry. And I'm like, you just had nachos and a bucket of popcorn. How are you hungry? Like, I offered you some of my tomato basil pizza that you didn't want because you said it looked gross, but whatever, it was delicious. So yeah, and then I also wrote down, like, this is not worth seeing in the theaters. And I mean, like, see, if you have HBO Max like we do, you pay your $14 a month, watch it there you've got a month before it gets off the service, but it's not worth it to see in the theaters, in my opinion. It sucks. It's no good.
And I fell asleep, and I watched it at 2:00 in the afternoon on a Friday.
I know, right?
And I fell asleep. So I am saying, you have to be really a big LeBron James fan or a Space Jam fan to want to watch this. And I say, more power to you. Go for it. You're still going to be disappointed, and you're not getting those 2 hours of your life back.
Yeah.
And it is free on HBO Max right now because it comes with your monthly fee. So get it now. Don't see it in the theater. Do not see it in the theater.
All right.
This is a definite.
It's a bad one.
Yeah.
All right. So why don't we move over to our next segment? And did you want to go first, or did you want me to go first?
Sure. So mine was, what is your favorite live action animated movie?
Well, this one is also from the 90s. The 90s, and I absolutely love this. And this is Roger Rabbit.
I had the same.
Oh my God, it's so good.
Love that. It was Roger Rabbit. Oh
yeah, I was gonna put Space Jam 1, but I was like, it's a bad movie. but yeah, I do like the mixture of the animation and the live action. But Roger Rabbit is is a good
It's
mixture
iconic and it's
and it's good.
amazing
It's a
from
good
start to
movie.
finish.
It still holds up to this day.
Yeah, like
And
my kids love it. Generations later, I was like, let's watch it. They're like, this is great. Like, it's just Toontown.
yeah, and as a small child, I can't tell you how many times I got a boner over Jessica Rabbit. I know it's weird because she's a cartoon, but when you're like 12 years old and she's popping her titties out and you're all like, boner time, I want to take you to Pound
And she
Town.
plays patty cake.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know what that means, but whatever.
She literally plays patty cake.
I know. It's weird. I was all, I'd rather see, a Jessica Rabbit hentai than that shit. Anyway, so
I'm sure there's one out there
oh, hey,
somewhere.
listen, what is it? Rule 34, whatever. So yeah, no, but yeah, Roger Rabbit's so good, so good. They don't make
Yeah.
them like that anymore.
No, it had a good storyline. It
Mhm.
had great actors and actresses. The voiceovers were great.
Great.
It just, there's no complaining about Who Framed. The villain was awesome.
So good.
Yes.
I always wonder what he looked like underneath his little body skin and everything, because they never showed him. They just showed his eyes or whatever.
Yeah.
But so good. All right. So in my segment, I have two different questions for you. The first one's pretty easy. Who is your favorite Looney Tune? And
so
why?
I did categories because Looney Tunes
Okay.
are in categories, and that's just how I work.
It's totally cool.
So I did my favorite duo, which is Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner. They are my all-time favorite. I did my favorite couple, which is Porky Pig and Petunia. And then I did my all-time favorite Looney Tune character, Elmer Fudd.
Elmer Fudd, nice.
We're hunting some rabbits.
Gotcha. Well, I didn't do all of that. I only just picked one, and that's Tweety Bird. I love Tweety Bird. He's so freaking cute. They did not give him enough attention in this movie, in my opinion. And the fact that Sylvester like puked him up, and he's like, "What year is this?" I'm all like, "Oh, fuck you."
How long you been in there, my dude?
Yeah, I'm all like, "You guys, Sylvester got a hold of him finally. Fuck you guys." Anyways, so my last question is, do you think, hold on, I wrote it down. Okay. Do you think they could make a third movie, and who should be their player, and any ideas of how they could do it? Okay. I know it's kind of a complex.
I have a two-parter to this.
Go ahead.
No, they shouldn't at all. But if they do, I think they should turn it around and do like a female, like WNBA players, where they can use like multiple, like they could pull out like Skylar Diggins Smith or Natasha Howard. What's another one? Kyla McBride, or there's a couple others. They could put like together like a team of like WNBA women, and instead of them going into the cartoon world, have the cartoon characters, the Looney Tunes, come into the human world. Would be a nice little twist. And they could do, something that's like, I don't know, like, it's hard because I know people hate the whole girl, women empowering feminist thing, but I really feel they should do that. I think if they were to make a third, they need to do something like that, because I live in a state where women's sports dominate,
right on,
and men's sports choke when they get past the regular season. They get into the playoffs, and I don't know if their egos get to them, or they're scared, or they just fall apart, but they don't win anything past the regular season. Our women's teams, especially our WNBA team and our women's hockey teams, they kick ass in the postseason.
Right on.
And I just really wish they would do something to encourage more women's sports, especially the women's WNBA. They have such great talent there, and they're just so underrated, and it sucks. And yes, some of them made appearance for what, like 10 minutes when he was using his little phone at the All-Star tournament or
Which
whatever
was
charity tournament. That was
yeah,
all you saw the women players
right
in
on.
human form. You saw the two on the Goon Squad. So, I mean, if they were to make a third, that is the way I wish they would go. But I honestly don't think they should.
Right on. I think we were on the same mindset here because I also said they should pick a female for the third one. Now I picked I picked Brittany Griner, but I don't know if she's
Yeah.
still playing or not.
I think she plays for Phoenix.
That yes.
And I think, and I could be wrong because it's 2021, but I think in 2020 she was like one of the top paid players, like because the women's NBA works a little different. Their caps are like in the hundreds of thousands, where the men's are in the millions. So when they say the highest paid female player, there's like 10 of them because they all, I know too much about it. I'm gonna stop.
No, you're losing me real quick. Okay. You know more about sports than I do.
Never played basketball because I'm 4'10" and a half, but I love basketball.
Right on. That's great and everything. I just picked Brittany Griner because
you Googled her?
Well, she was still, like she's still pretty young, and I was all like, I don't think she plays anymore, but that was really the only name I could come up with.
She still plays for Phoenix.
Okay, well, I thought that they should do a woman, and I didn't. Oh man, I've drank too much. I don't think that it's a bad idea to pick a woman, and I know we do this female empowerment, but I picked a woman because women do play basketball, and you don't want to ignore that just because. And like, what other male basketball player would you pick to be in this franchise? I mean, like, and like you said, they did have some female basketball players like for like 10 minutes, but I don't know those two women, so I didn't pick them. Or was Brittany Griner one of them? Because I was like they picked one of them, and I was like, I don't know who this bitch is, but whatever. Good for her. Good for her.
I don't think so. I think one of them was Skylar Diggins Smith. I'm not positive. I'm so sorry, Skylar, if you weren't in there and I'm claiming you are. I think so. And I don't know who the other one was.
Yeah. So
because they weren't on screen long enough, I would have had to, and again, I fell asleep. So I would have had to rewind it and taken better notes.
And so, and then what I said was, I said in the first one, they did aliens. Okay. Because they're aliens and they take the powers from people. In this one, it's a computer system that generates their moves and everything. So I said, maybe the third one, they should try magic. You've got a little magic element to it. I don't know how all that would work. I'm not a screenwriter. You guys from Brown get on that stuff. But I just, it would be something different compared to the past and everything. But I think we're kind of on the same page. But I did write down my first thing that I did.
Like a Looney Tunes coming into the human world and trying to get home or whatever.
I didn't write that down, but I mean, that'd be fine too. But I did write down the first thing I did wrote down was like, they should not make a third movie.
No.
Like this should be the last one. And if LeBron James did put all his money into this or a lot of it, then I don't think anybody else makes enough money to put into a movie. So it probably won't get made. All right, Vetta. Do you have any last final thoughts about this movie?
If you have small kids, put it on and see if they'll watch it while you're vacuuming or doing laundry. If you're like my brother and you grew up with Space Jam, the first one, and thought it was amazing, watch it for nostalgic reasons. Just be ready to take a really good nap. Otherwise, read a couple reviews, go online, read critic reviews. They're not good. Ours isn't real positive either. If you loved it, good for you. We disagree. We don't.
Not good for you. Don't encourage this.
So, don't watch this. That's hours of your life you're never going to get back. Put it in your ear, maybe while you're driving, and put it on your phone and listen to it.
No,
but
don't do that, people. Don't give this
listen
attention.
to our podcast instead.
Yeah.
Or
I'm going to take the opposite approach. Don't watch this at all. If you're nostalgic for Space Jam like me, don't watch this movie. Okay. Don't put it on for your kids. They don't need to watch this nonsense. Don't put it in your ear because you've got better things to listen to. This movie sucks. It sucks hardcore. LeBron James sucks. Okay.
just not a good
So
actor.
who
Don't
cares? Yeah.
act, my dude.
He's not a good actor. He says it
Be
in
a,
the movie.
this movie made you out to be a shitty father.
Mhm.
So take a couple parenting classes.
Yeah.
You're a great basketball player. I do think LeBron is a good dad. I'm joking. For those of you
I don't know
that
what
are
kind of father he is.
So I'm gonna go with no, don't.
No,
LeBron,
don't
don't
watch
make
it.
any more movies. Don't make cameos as yourself. Don't do Foley.
Yeah, do like you did in that train wreck movie where you were a side character.
Yeah,
You
just
don't
do
you don't need
itty
to be
bitty
front
little
and center.
cameos. We're like, hey, I'm LeBron James. I'm famous. I'm a basketball player.
Yeah,
And then be gone.
yeah, take your advice in this movie. Get on the court. Stop having distractions. Movies are not, you don't need to be your distraction, homeboy.
Do the work.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for listening to us. Go ahead and follow us on Twitter at BS Drunk Pod to stay updated. We will also be posting the video version of this on our YouTube channel, so you can subscribe to that. You should subscribe to that. If you're not, get over there now. We are BS Drunk Movie Reviews on YouTube. And don't forget to drink, recap, review, and repeat. Bye, guys.
Bye.